Yo, what's going on guys? Today we're going to be talking about Ubisoft. Now, Ubisoft has had a very rough year to say the least, probably the worst year Ubisoft has ever had. The fact that they have earned the nickname Ubisoft tells you everything you need to know. Their games are the definition of slop. Low effort, mass-produced garbage that is churned out very sloppily. Ubisoft this year has seen the lowest lows the company has ever seen. It started off with Skull and Bones, which is a pretty accurate representation of the player base. Completely dead. They had the audacity to market this game as a quadruple A game when it had less polish than most double A games. And the game was forgotten within like a week. Nobody liked it, it sucked. Then we had X-Defiant, probably the most sad out of the entire list because the gameplay was solid, and a lot of people were looking for an alternative to Call of Duty. Call of Duty in recent years has adopted this just AIDS matchmaking system. Call of Duty has adopted this very strict skill-based matchmaking system, which on its own isn't the end of the world, but it's mixed with this EOMM system, engagement optimized matchmaking, where the game literally rigs itself either in favor of you or against you depending on how well you're doing in the match. I'm not going to go too deep into it in this video, but there are countless videos out there talking about it. But that game failed because they locked it down to the Uplay store when they could have easily put it on Steam, a free-to-play first-person shooter, and it would have thrived. Then we had Star Wars Outlaws. This game was just an absolute disaster. It couldn't even succeed with the Star Wars name on it. First of all, the game was a buggy, broken pile of shit, where if you paid for the early access version of the game on the PlayStation, it would just literally yeet your save file into the abyss. Also, the game had animations straight out of the PS2 era, as well as the main character just looked really off, like uglier than the actual actor in real life. The actor is a very, very pretty woman in real life, but I don't know what the fuck happened here. Well, it's actress, not actor, but same fucking thing, dude. Then they had to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is not a good look considering their track record for 2024. But we are like 2 days into 2025 at this point, and they're already in another controversy. So if you use Steam, you know that there's a lot of sales, especially on older games, where you can get an older game that used to be like $60, $70 for maybe $5 to $10. And Assassin's Creed Origins was one of those games. I think the game is kind of mid, like it's definitely not up there when it comes to the Assassin's Creed games, but I don't think it's like a steaming pile of dog shit. You know, it's $5. If you're a big Assassin's Creed fan, you might have bought this one and checked it out. And if you are one of those people who bought the game and checked it out, then you probably noticed, if you're on the latest version of Windows 11, that it doesn't even fucking work. So maybe you left a negative review. Well, IGN is not very happy with you, and they think you are review bombing the game. Which is why I titled this video, IGN's Defense of Ubisoft is almost as pathetic as they are. Let's get into the article. Steam users are review bombing Assassin's Creed Origins because Microsoft's 24H2 Windows update has bricked the game. Tough Task Manager by Wesley Yen Poole. First of all, Wesley, this article is absolute garbage, and if somebody who worked at a company that I owned ever made an article like this, they would be immediately fired from their job and given a bad reference. I wouldn't even call what these people are doing review bombing. They bought the game, tried to play it, and it didn't even work. You expect them to leave a positive review? They're using the review system for the very thing it exists for. That is not review bombing. Ubisoft's PC woes have continued into 2025, with the generally much-loved Assassin's Creed Origins suffering a review bomb campaign on Steam after a Windows PC update rendered it unplayable for some. If it was a campaign, it would have been people telling everyone else, hey, everyone go review bomb this game. That's not what's going on here. People are playing the game, realizing that they can't even get it to work, and leaving a negative review to try to get the attention of the publishers. I mean, there's no way to actually contact these people. What else are you supposed to do? Leave a positive review? Yeah, this is awesome. It doesn't even fucking launch. Like, what? I don't... Dude, IGN is so sad. These are clearly people who want to play and enjoy the game, not people trying to blindly hate on it. Why else would they be buying and reviewing this like 7-year-old game at this point? I forget how old this game is, but it was a PS4 game. In November, Microsoft confirmed that Windows 11 version 24H2 accidentally killed Ubisoft games such as Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and more. The issue was so bad that Microsoft updated its support website to reveal it had placed a temporary block on Windows 11 for users with those games installed. I find it insane that after Windows 7, every single version of Windows has gotten progressively worse. Like, what is going on over there, dude? Windows 10 was a downgrade from Windows 7, and then Windows 11 was an even bigger downgrade. And this is coming from someone who has used Windows since the launch of Windows 7. Honestly, when Windows 12 comes out, I think it would be awesome if they actually just gave us Windows 7, like, revamped and perfected. That would be fucking awesome. After installing Windows 11 version 24H2, you might encounter issues with some of Ubisoft's games. Microsoft said at the time, these games might become unresponsive while starting, loading, or during active gameplay. In some cases, users might receive a black screen. The affected games are Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Star Wars Outlaws, and Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. To safeguard your Windows Update experience, we have applied a compatibility hold on devices with these games installed. These devices will not be offered to install Windows 11 version 24H2 via the Windows Update release channel. Ubisoft released an update to fix the problem in Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, but Microsoft and Ubisoft are both still working to sort out the Assassin's Creed games, and frustration has finally spilled over into the Steam user reviews, and rightfully so. Nowhere was a warning put on this video game that this could occur. Ubisoft has known about the problem for a while now, yet they decided not to put a disclaimer on the game warning people before going in that they could have these problems. Now, this specific criticism is not one that is exclusive to Ubisoft. Call of Duty needs to implement this as well. Black Ops 3 is a game I play a lot in the background because of the modded custom zombies, but the multiplayer in that game is filled with hackers. Yet there's no disclaimer on Steam when you boot up that game that this is a thing that happens and the multiplayer is kinda busted. So don't try to act like I'm only putting this criticism out there towards Ubisoft. A lot of different companies need to take this advice. Now, it is worth noting that they do have something pinned on the community tab, so I will give them credit for that. However, most people do not check the community tab, now that is partially their fault, before buying these games. So it should be more obvious and in plain sight before you buy the game, like possibly even a pop-up warning, or possibly even delist the game until you fix it. Also, this community post was put up back in November? Where's the update? Where's the progress? Why are you not communicating with us? We have no other choice but to leave negative reviews because you're not fucking updating us on what's going on. Okay, great. You told people not to update their Windows back in the middle of November. It's now the 5th of January at the time that I'm editing this video. The problem is still not fixed, so yeah. Pretty much all the recent negative reviews complain about the Windows update making Assassin's Creed Origins unplayable. Until a resolution is found, Ubisoft told customers not to manually update to version 24H2 using the Windows 11 Installation Assistant or the Media Creation tool. If the game stops responding, you'll need to use Task Manager to close the application. Ubisoft's window problems have hit the company at a particularly troubling time. The company is reportedly in buyout talks with Chinese megacorp Tencent after a torrid 2024 in which it closed studios, shut down games, and made mass layoffs. The company's next big game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, was delayed into 2025, and Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet sales expectations. I mean, it's great that you told people not to update their Windows 11 or whatever, but when is the fix coming out? Ubisoft's shares fell to their lowest level in the last decade in September after it made a series of dramatic announcements around the performance of its games. As well as delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft announced a return to Steam after a period of PC launch exclusivity on the Epic Games Store, with Star Wars Outlaws recently releasing on Valve's platform. Anyway, that is the end of the article here today. Basically, my criticism of IGN here is, we're not review bombing the game. These people are fans of this game that desperately want to play this game and are trying to get Ubisoft's attention so that they can get their favorite games working again. These are fans, not fucking review bombers. Anyway, I'm out, man.